Welcome back to the FEPCast. We've rebooted our show several times. The FEPCast is like the third iteration of various
Are you
podcasts.
saying we're going to do it again?
No, but I'm saying, but it's
can't
appropriate.
wait. Yeah, new podcast.
Like when
Second
Kramer
episode
was
podcast.
rebooting. Can we get the Merv Olsen set from the garbage?
Well, they
Yeah,
rebooted
that's the best
Scrubs. Was my transition there, but unlike Scrubs, we never had a popular thing to reboot. It was always very unpopular.
Yeah, so it was more like a tear down and rebuild.
We're back, and the people are like,
No,
"Oh, why?"
Were we
I thought we got
unpopular, or
rid of
does
you.
no one just know of us? Like we're broadcasting like Kramer.
Dead air.
Nobody.
Yeah. Yep,
No,
that's it.
there's people. There's actually people watching right now. So eat those words. Yes, there are. Your
People
son's
say-
listening in the background. I'm going to add your son in the background.
Yeah,
The people. I've
Yeah.
added him to the people that are listening and watching this show.
If you were doing this show from your car, you could count the people in traffic with you.
Look, people want to know what we think about TV shows. It's you can argue about a lot of things in life, politics, love, sex. Everybody wants to know what the FEPcast thinks about shows like Scrubs and obviously the Real Ghostbusters, the cartoon show made about the actual film, The Ghostbusters from the 80s, not the show called Ghostbusters, which is just a show that they had the license rights to the name Ghostbusters that is actually about like a gorilla and a couple of the people that solve crimes.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna get into all that. It's
confused.
quite this fascinating story.
It really is. Donnie, did you do your homework on the Real Ghostbusters?
Well, yeah, I actually saw something about it a while back. It was like a brief video on a YouTube short where the guy talked about the reason why the Ghostbusters cartoon was called the Real Ghostbusters. Because at the time there was already a cartoon called Ghostbusters. So
yeah,
when you
from Hanna-Barbera, right?
Right, yeah, exactly. It was like a Hanna-Barbera style. It was a goofy gorilla and some dumb stuff, and I don't even think I've ever seen it. I think it was really old too. But
Oh
when
yeah,
you
well,
file-
no, it wasn't that old, but here, let me show you I'll show you the image of this Ghostbusters. It is classically terrible.
Classically terrible, classically Hanna-Barbera also. And since they couldn't use the show name Ghostbusters because it was already, it's so bad. Because it was already used, so they called themselves the Real Ghostbusters, even though it was not the Real Ghostbusters. But I guess they should have been the more popular Ghostbusters because that's what they were.
I'm shocked that there wasn't a massive lawsuit again when the movie Ghostbusters came out. I think what happened, the movie Ghostbusters came out, then these guys were like, nobody's got the TV rights. So they jump in on it. They released a cartoon about a monkey and the Scooby-Doo crew. They basically replaced Scooby with an ape, which makes sense because if you're going to bust ghosts, you want opposable thumbs, right?
Yeah. Well, and the monkey has like a different sense of things.
Scooby-Doo already did a great job. They got ghosts every week.
I mean,
well, no, those weren't ghosts. Those were people masquerading.
People in masks.
They were, yeah, you're right. They were masquerading ghosts. But my worry with having a giant ape as your fellow ghost hunter would be, what if some poltergeist decides they want to go and take over his body? You know, like, you'll get ghosts that take over people and control them. Now you got an unstoppable killing machine that can just rip people's spines out willy-nilly. What are you going to do about that? What if you get possessed by a ghost and you're this McGilla gorilla guy? You're going to go on a killing spree that no one can stop.
Oh, but maybe you'll just go on a banana eating spree. That's another thing. As long as the guy at Whole Foods doesn't get in the way. And if that guy dies, then I don't care. Because he works at Whole Foods and he guards bananas.
Does anyone guard bananas?
Yes, you go to Whole Foods.
Yes.
I've never seen
There
anyone
was
guard.
there was like the United
Got a
States
giant
backed a
gun.
coup, a banana-based
I
coup. in,
know
like,
that's where
Peru.
the term "banana republic" comes from. I thought you meant
Exactly.
people
So yes, they
guarding
guard
bananas in Whole Foods.
I don't know. I don't know how far that coup. Maybe the people that got ousted by the coup, they're like, well, what else am I going to do? I have a certain set of skills. It's guarding
A
bananas.
couple months ago, my mom was in town and she complained about the price of bananas, which is amazing. I mean, she must be from Don's lineage because she can get like a bunch of bananas for $1.25. She's like, the cost of bananas is terrible.
It's terrible. Well, I remember it cost less shekel. Yeah.
Can I
See,
buy it without
eventually-
can I take the peel off and pay less money?
Yeah.
That was a thing I saw somebody
the
try to do, by
pound.
the way. That was a real thing I saw somebody to do. I don't know. I'm not going to say, I can't presume a religion. I don't know. But they literally went up to the storefront, peeled the banana, and were like, I am only paying for this part of the banana because that's all I'm eating. And they were like,
touche. They go. Hey, they
Like,
got
what
it.
do you want me to do?
Yeah. You
to
can't
peel
beat
the
that.
orange for you?
What, are you going to go to court over
Genius
a peel?
move, actually. I'm gonna
It really is.
Yeah, the heady play. That's what they say.
broadcasting from a yacht with all this fruit money I'm saving.
How I
Yeah.
made all my money was I didn't pay for peels.
Yeah. Yes, I bet the name
billion
of
later.
the name
When
of
you
the
buy
book,
beef at the butcher, you say, no, I don't want that paper
Yeah.
under the meat. That's going to add cents to my cost. I don't
Right.
play that game.
We got to talk about this Scrubs and Ghostbusters in a minute. We will, because I have to go. I have a hard out and a hard on.
Popular.
But
with the neighbors.
can I just say my biggest pet peeve at the grocery store ever? You go to the lunch counter, the deli counter. They slice your meat. Wonderful. They put it in a bag. What do they then do with it? They fold it over. They put a tag on it that is over the place where the zipper is. Now, I'm sure they do this so you can't unzip it and steal lunch meat. But at the same time, who's just walking around doing that? But every time they put the sticker over the zipper spot, so you can't fucking open the
Maybe at your
goddamn bag.
Ghetto grocery store, they do it that way.
They
Yeah,
do
I've
it
never
at every one of them.
experienced
Every one of them.
I go to two, and they don't do it at either one anymore.
Well, everyone, Sandy, she'll get lunch meat ordered in. Walmart does it. Vons does it. Rouse does it. It drives me insane. I'm like, you've ruined it. There's a sticker. I can't, if I rip the sticker off, it rips the whole bag open because they're thin bags.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it violates
yeah.
the sanctity and the safety of the bag. If I don't, I can't open the zipper. I have to do the zipper over the sticker, which then breaks the zipper again, ruining the sanctity of the bag. I can't reseal it. I have to put it in.
Tell
You
the people,
live-
don't do that. No.
I will. Well,
No,
I don't do
no.
that job. I go to Costco. That's my job. Sandy
you
does the
go-
groceries. That's her job.
When you get that deli meat bag from the California approved deli bag association, which I'm sure you're paying for that. On
I'm
your
shocked that
taxes.
they even allow them to. I'm shocked we don't just get it handed to us in paper like they used to do in the old days.
That has got to be limited to where you're at, because when I get meat from the deli over here, which is a lot, got to get a mile high. It comes in a giant, thick boar's head package, even if you buy it from the counter, and then you can easily break apart that seal that they put over the opening. And you could eat it right there in the store if you want. They don't care. You just pay
Well,
for
I know,
it.
but this is. Are we talking about a thick sticker? This is a sticker you cannot go over it.
Everyone knows
ripping-
what you're talking about. We're all bored by it.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
All right. This is why we're rebooting the
bags
podcast.
there are made out of
We're
Exact-
rebooting with less talk
Yeah.
about deli meats.
Less deli meat. That's what the
meat
budget.
packaging is what we're talking about.
Fine. I thought this would be a fascinating tangential rant.
It wasn't. It was
All right.
terrible.
No.
Well, let's get into
That's
it.
why we
Let's
should have a
start talking-
pre-show. I would have nicked that talk. Nope.
You guys didn't show up till 2 minutes after we were supposed to start, so don't fucking talk
I
to me
was
about
eating.
a pre-show.
This is an early
Eating
call.
deli
Yeah,
meat, and we're right back in.
dinner time. Deli
All right,
meat?
let's get into Scrubs. That's what the people want.
Well, I have a story about a grocery store involving scrubs, but not really. What kind
Whoa,
of?
Talk about a
You know
callback.
the Ralphs. I don't remember what the road is. It's Olympic and like whatever Barrington turns into in Santa
Yes.
Monica.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pico.
No, it's not. Whatever. But anyways, there's that Ralph's there. We've all been
Hotel.
there 100 times. And across the street, at least at the time, there was a gas station. I don't know if you remember that. It actually had pretty reasonable prices because I would fill up there. But anyways, a coworker at the time was at that gas station filling up. She was like 8 months pregnant. And she tells us a story. Who pulls up next to her in a Porsche, sees her quite pregnant, and says, "I'll pump your gas for you." Zach Braff.
Zach Braff.
Oh, okay. You said
Yeah,
Caesar. God, when you said Caesar, I thought you were saying a name.
That's
Donnie,
exactly
did you
what
think
I
the same
thought.
thing?
I
was
thought he
like,
was going to say
I was like,
Caesar,
who's Caesar?
Caesar Milan. I thought he was going to say the dog guy.
The dog
Her
trainer.
sees the pregnant woman.
That's what I was saying. I was like,
she-
which Caesar? Who the fuck?
Caesar
Donnie and
from
I
Planet
had the exact same reaction of, what is he? Who is Caesar, and what is he talking about?
Yeah.
I'll have to enunciate my words better.
So I said rectum. Damn near killed him.
Yes.
Oh,
All right, that's awesome. Zach Braff's a good guy.
At least in that moment, I have no. And he seems like a good guy in his T-Mobile commercials.
What is he like?
Yeah,
hey,
which-
when your water breaks, save me some of that.
It would have been great if she
I-
went into labor and he
Save me
just, like,
some of that.
took out his gloves. Like, I know what I'm
He's got
doing.
into the car. He's like, I'm not a real doctor, but I have done the show for quite many years.
I play one on T-Mobile commercials.
Yeah.
And TV.
There was a T-Mobile commercial during the time I was watching Scrubs reboot. It was surreal.
Well, I fortunately do not have to watch commercials with my Hulu subscription, so I do not.
Ooh,
Not
I
to,
went-
not to dip my
Well, I could.
I also
fast
go to
forward
Costco an hour
to
early because I
the-
pay for the executive membership. Pores, stop at
Ooh.
the doors for that first hour. That's
I like.
that's enough.
Yeah. What kind of executive business are you running with your Costco membership? Just buying all sorts of garbage.
It's just the executive level just lets you have to bump into far less people and their children getting samples. That's all I care about.
There's more samples for you.
There's not even samples in that hour. I don't need
I know.
samples. I'm fat and old as it is. All right, let's get to the show. So
All right, go nuts.
we got us a Scrubs here. It's
Mhm.
obviously everybody knows what Scrubs is. It's been around forever. One of the classic shows. Well, not a classic at this point, but a legitimately hilarious
From 2001 is when it first.
And it
Damn,
ran
so that's-
for 10 years, I think.
Yeah, it's an old show.
It had 9 seasons. This
Mhm.
reboot ignores the final season, apparently, which I didn't watch. I stopped watching
I
Scrubs probably about
did, and it
6
was
years in.
terrible because all the regular cast, except for Dr. Cox, there was one regular that was still in it, and it was like a new crop. I think, actually, now that I think about it, I think Dave Franco was in it. Maybe I'm just making that up. But anyways, it was, or someone like him. But anyways, it was terrible. It had
That
nothing
I
to do
believe.
with
So the reboot ignores that, and it pretends that none of them left the hospital. So I guess they were there through season 8 at the hospital. But I mean, a funny show. Zach Braff obviously tried to kind of do a movie thing, didn't work out, but he's still a beloved character and apparently a nice man who helps pregnant women pump gas. So there's that.
Right.
And he and Turk, the guy in the show, are apparently real life friends. David
Donald Faison, I think is his
Donald
name.
Faison. I was close.
Yep, you got it.
Did you say
Of
Definitely.
Clueless fame.
Yes, that's right. So Faison and Zach Braff are actually best friends, and from what I Googled briefly, apparently before the show started, and that carried through the show, which is amazing. So they're back. They're back with the reboot. It starts off with Zach Braff being introduced. He's still a doctor, of course, but he's not at the hospital. He's now a concierge doctor, which means he goes to people's houses. Yeah, all the richins. He goes.
But he
to the
had a
rich-
classic John Dorian dream sequence at the start where he saved some person's life and everyone went crazy, like he just won Game 7 or beat Canada in the Olympics, whatever.
Yep.
That was fun.
He signed an intern's back tattoo of him with angel wings on it, his face. That was that was cute.
Mhm.
I did like I did like right away. He's like, yeah, so most of the time, I go to people's houses and it's, me checking on erections. And he goes up this one guy and he's like, so it's been a full 4 hours? Well, we got to get that thing down. He's like, but I'm worried about the tilt.
Yeah, he goes, I'm more worried about the tilt. The curve.
Pretty funny.
Pepperonis.
Yeah, so that's his job, right? Introductory. He left the actual hospital and he didn't leave the profession, but he's now a concierge doctor. So he gets called back to the hospital because his patient collapses, I think at a softball game or something like that. Older black lady, they take her to the hospital and he has to go to see her and check up on her, where, of course, he sees Turk's wife. I should have written down these people's names. Carla. I was close.
Yeah.
Carla, the Puerto Rican. And she is
Latina.
Yeah, fiery. She used to have a 4-head and now is a 5-head, but otherwise looks pretty similar to where she used to look.
Back down.
So she's yelling at people. It's funny, hey, shut up. I'm not going to tell you how long you have to wait. He walks in, she runs up, gives him a hug, and he goes, wow, I wonder if Turk knows I'm here. And Turk, of course, Donald Faison, has a sixth sense that JD's there and just abandons his patient.
It's the
in the middle of the surgery.
Of Star Wars when Obi-Wan and Darth Vader sense each other's presence on the Death Star, and they know shenanigans are afoot. It was just like that.
Yes, exactly. So they run it.
Actually,
it was cute. So they run.
I was entertained.
Yeah, I'll do. Let me get to this next point, and they'll open it up for more discussion. I just want to set the stage here. So they reunite. They both look great, by the way. I will say that they both aged fantastically. They reunite. They do their brotherly crap they used to do. Something called like the Flying Eagle, which was funny because Donald Faison bends over the middle of the hallway and just looks like he's spreading his asshole. And he's like, I'm ready to receive.
Ready to receive. Yeah. Bring that boner all up in here.
And Zach Braff runs down the hallway, jumps on his back, and they try to do this flying eagle thing. But of course, they're old men and they fall down and they hurt themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fucking funny. Mm-hmm. I'll leave it there. So what do you guys think of that opening sequence?
I liked it. I was worried before watching this. I'm like, all the good writers are probably doing something else. This is a network TV show. Every network TV show we've watched in forever has just been absolute shit. And I didn't want it to let me down, even though I can always still watch the old episodes. It's one of my favorite shows ever. So I was a little worried that it was just going to be terrible. But I cracked up genuinely a few times right in the beginning sequence. So I'm like, all right, this is a good start here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I laughed a few times as well, genuinely. And I thought it was also a good way that they kind of progressed quickly from what he's doing. And then you had some good jokes there. And then as soon as he gets to he's going to go back to the hospital. And the way that they teed it up, I thought, was pretty good, right? It doesn't seem forced. And he goes there, and then it's just like everybody could relate to going back to a job that you worked at. And so,
especially if you're best friends there, right? And to your point, they got through the BS quickly, set the stage, get it back in the hospital. And he's right back in. He finds a nemesis doctor, this Korean doctor, Dr. Park, who's an arrogant asshole. But we find out that, he and Elliot on the show, the blonde, who hasn't aged as well as Zach Braff and Donald Faison.
I think she was bad.
Well, also,
she's probably in her late 40s.
And Braff didn't age that good either. He looks like he's been doing Botox.
Can we celebrate actors and actresses who don't still look like they're in their 20s because they're not eating babies? And so they should be applauded.
That's true.
So we should feel good about those people.
But what I've read is that eating babies, look, if you are eating babies and you're still fat, that's genetic and there's nothing you can do about it. It's not just diet.
They're
and
working on
exercise.
a GLP-1 baby edition. It's supposed to work that out for all the fat, rich, baby-eating people.
Yeah. All right. So you got they set the stage. You've got the doctor coming in, Dr. Cox, the old surly doctor who's hilarious. And there was some great stuff here. Oh, also, Turk had a great line. Something about, God damn, he's like, when's the last time we were in the hospital together? And Turk was like, not since Disney princesses were white. And I was like, that's funny.
That was good.
So the old mean doctor, the old mean doctor who was one of the best characters of the show because, Zach Braff and, Turk and what's Zach, JD, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They're always upbeat, goofing around. And he was the counterpoint to that. And he was so funny, so mean, such a great character. He's there. So I'm like, okay, I checked that box. I'm like, thank God he's still there. And I give them a lot of credit. They're cracking jokes about how weak and pathetic, Gen Z is, how these people are snowflakes that you can't say anything mean. Yeah, right? Yeah.
He's got the TikTok doc that he called her. And then
I watched a YouTube video. I'm good. I don't need to come to.
Yeah, exactly. They did definitely poke fun at that generation.
The annoying HR lady.
Oh, it's so good, right?
I can't remember.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly what you remember her from because I remember from it, and it's amazing. It's from I Think You Should Leave, the Tim Robbins show. I think this is what you remember from. She did a sketch. No? All right. Well, I'll just tell you the sketch because it's hilarious. She did a sketch, which is what I'll remember her from, where she's like, I'm going to tag us. He's like, come here, guys. It's like her and her two girlfriends. She goes like, let's take a selfie. I'm going to tag myself. And they're like, well, here's some advice. You want to be a little self-deprecating. And she's like, okay, me hanging out with two hotties. I'm just sitting here, a shit-swilling pig, licking my own butthole, sucking at life. All right, XOXO. Hilarious. I know I'm not delivering it as well as she is, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
She's a perfect HR because she's like got the upward, like the uplifted attitude, but is still super cunty and like cracking down on you. And I love that the doc rips into these interns and she's like, and he's like, oh, what am I at? Like 2 strikes? She's like, you're at 900 strikes.
Yeah,
the fun police.
She's in a movie where she's like a executive assistant to somebody in some kind of like fashion-y industry, and the woman that's her boss is always talking down to her and making fun of her.
This was not Anne Hathaway. Sorry, Don.
No,
no, it's a similar feeling role though. Yeah. I
other shows. I don't remember what.
Everybody at home could just IMDb.
Well, whatever. She's got red hair. She's a very funny actress with a perfect face for this, which is just kind of like, like a little weirdo, like a squint face. So the old doc's there, and obviously
there were some other characters that were there. There was Hooch. He was like a running joke, like. Did anyone say who?
Crazy black guy?
And then he would just walk away, and they're like, "Oh, he's even crazier than ever."
Well, hold on, wait. You skipped ahead a little bit because we missed that Turk apparently. So JD's coming back. He's walking around the hospital. The doctor's like, "Yeah, these kids suck. Yeah, he's kind of burned out. They need a teacher, right?" And JD has a little bit of time. He's proven right over this other doctor, Dr. Park, who's so arrogant about his patient. Because he's a great doctor, right? Always been. So we get the stage set where he comes back and Dr. Cox wants him to oversee some of these interns that are so gentle and can't be verbally aggressed upon like the old days. At the same time, the B plot is that Turk has been, he's in surgery and he's just not into it. He has a great line, which is that
he's hated by his interns as well.
Yes, hated by his.
He's become jaded.
Yes,
I think over time, and like I think this was very clever how they did it. Like they put real world burnout. Yeah, I'm sure doctors do get burnout. I'm sure they get sick of telling patients what they're, how they're fucking up, and the patients being like, okay, and then ignoring them and doing, their same bad habits, and then keep coming back and then blaming the doctor for why they're not better. So yeah, I think he did have a great line I think you were gonna say.
Yeah, so he's in there and he's got his own intern, right, a black chick, but he's like, God, I just wish this guy would die all at once instead of just in tiny pieces.
That was a funny
and she's like,
one.
oh,
he's like,
I was in the gym. I laughed out loud at the gym. I was watching this like on the treadmill, laughing out loud. I was like,
because he was amputating a diabetic's toe.
Yes.
And clearly diabetic has ignored all recommendations on lifestyle and eating and whatnot.
Yeah. So you get that aspect of like Turk's burned out and he's being negative. They call him like a Dr. Bummer or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you got that. And obviously, he doesn't have JD. And there's a scene where JD tries to take him out. He's like, let's go get drinks. And he's like, well, when you were here, we used to be able to blow off steam and talk this stuff through and go to the roof for a beer. But obviously we can't do that anymore. And he's kind of like tearing up and sad. And they're supposed to go out. And he's like, I'm just going to go out on my own. And
I thought that was a good acting scene by Donald.
It was.
He did look really sad.
Yeah.
I believed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I felt that to my core, although, and for me, also with my two kids now, I'm like, I just can't get drunk on a rooftop after work anymore. I have to go pick these kids up. I have to go pretend to be sober when I get them from daycare.
He has 4 girls at home, Turk, and he gives each one a nickname, but the littlest one, and then the littlest one goes, Daddy, why don't I have a nickname? And he's like, you do. You're called the Accident.
That's great. There were a lot of funny lines in this. There were a lot of good age jokes too, just like about being old, which everybody watching this show that liked it when it came on is old now, so they can appreciate that as well.
Yeah, they were definitely going for that audience when they didn't give a shit that they were making fun of Gen Z and their TikTok doc.
Yeah, well, and also he's like time of death, Zach. When they fall down doing the eagle move, they fall on the ground. They're like, oh, and he's like, oh, time of death. He's like, I can't even read it. Can't read his watch because he's too old.
I think it's also smart going after the new generation, because if they were offended, they're not watching the show anyways. They don't watch TV, so who cares?
Yeah,
but also
they knew they could go for it. They don't have to worry.
But they weren't, I don't think, too PC at all, because one of the best jokes is after that scene where,
No, I was saying they weren't going after the new generation at all, is my point.
They were not?
I don't think that. They walked the line, but the humor, so I don't want to go.
Well, their interns, they were making fun of them.
They made a lot of jokes for the oldies, is my point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, by making fun of the youngies.
Yeah. So one of the better jokes I thought was after that scene where Turk goes home, and then JD comes and sees him at the hospital the next day, and Turk's standing there, and he's like, I didn't want to get too deep. And then the Todd, classic, completely inappropriate character. I don't remember how he put it. He's like, that's what, or what? How did he put it? Like,
he said something. He's like, I could put it deep, and then he goes, consensually, high five.
Like after everyone glared at him, it's like consent 5.
Yeah, consensual high five. Yeah, he's
walking the line. Todd back.
The old times and the new times, where everybody's offended by everything, but you used to be able to get away with that kind of shit at work because that's fun, makes it more fun.
Exactly.
Do that kind of stuff.
And the humor of this, it wasn't aggressively un-PC, but it was funny. You were allowed to be funny in the show. They had funny lines. It wasn't ass kissing. It wasn't scared. The one thing I'll say is that let me continue the plot, and then I'll say my one complaint. So JD sees Turk is in he's in the gutter, He's burnt out. And Turk tells him, I'm burnt out,
he's
man.
really sad.
He's real sad. And Dr. Cox goes, hey, you need to come back because JD helps a girl do a, something she was scared to do. He coaches her through it. She does it. There's a funny scene where blood squirts on this Australian doctor's face who's scared of blood, like in another terrible show we watched. What was that awful goddamn show? Dr.
That was
Blowjob.
the doctor that was from the alien.
What was his?
No, it was the guy who went to the new town to be like the rural
yeah. But doesn't he also play like that resident alien guy?
Did he do both?
Yeah.
No.
Same guy. Who knows?
No. Resident Alien's Alan Tudyk. But anyway, so JD gets to be a teacher. Two dicks from the price of one right here on the FEPCast. That's what we're rebranding to the Two Dicks podcast.
Anybody with two dicks? Come on.
Where two of us will have to get our dicks chopped off, and one of us will have to get one sewed on.
It's gonna be a hell of a blind drawing for those awards.
The hell of a coin flip.
Oh well, it's not going to come up heads for the loser. Anyway, hey, okay, so
ready to receive.
JD, aka Zach Braff, gets to coach these kids up. And he's like, man, I love it. I miss it. And Dr. Cox, the mean doctor, he doesn't have that in him in the current era. So he goes, hey, come back. I'll offer you a job. And JD decides, you know what? I want to come back. I am into it. And you find out later that job is actually taking over for Dr. Cox, the mean old doctor, which makes sense. But at the same time, I also want that. I don't want to lose Dr. Cox. He's too good of a character.
Exactly what I thought. I'm like, oh, no. Does this mean Dr. Cox was just a one episode kind of cameo for this reboot? Which he's such a vital character.
They've done that on
you need him in the show.
Previous reboots where they bring back the person that you like for the first episode, going to draw you back in, and also lets the commercials look good and make you think like, oh, it'll be just like the show I loved. Can't remember what it was, but they did that a few times.
Yeah, I think he's got to be in it more. Even if he's not a doctor, maybe they'll have some kind of role, I would think, unless he just doesn't want to do it. Like he's the old guy who comes in and has coffee every day there and just nitpicks and makes fun of everyone for sucking at their job. Whatever. I hope they have some kind of role for him.
Yeah, he could get advice. Give advice to JD when he needs it in weird little increments as well. I hope so, because I would like to watch the show and be entertained and like it.
Well, they've done such a good job in keeping the tone and the comedy similar to the original show. And I was looking up to see like who wrote the first show. The guy that created is Bill something or other. Obviously, I think these are different writers, but I was curious to see.
Yeah,
they've done such a good job. I have to presume they know it would be suicidal to get rid of him because it would take out such a huge element.
Well, I don't think it's them getting rid of him. I think it's whether or not that actor wants to be in the show. Like if he wanted to be in hard. I mean, I don't know. He is an older guy now, but there's no way they are like, oh, thanks for coming back for one episode. That's all we need you for. It was. I would have to guess it has to be completely up to him how many episodes he wants to do.
Yeah, probably right. But again, hey, cash that big paycheck, man. Come in for like 1 day of shooting. 1 day of shooting probably for that guy. So it was awesome. Yeah. So JD takes the job, which is great. But there was one thing, because JD talks to Turk about the his intern, which is a pretty black chick.
I knew it. I wrote this down.
Go ahead. You want to talk about it?
Well, my note was the moment McWilliams hated the show.
You're not wrong.
It's because
you're not wrong.
It really pissed me off. It was so
unnecessary. So unnecessary.
Turk's intern, who was a black lady, goes to Turk like, look, you're my mentor. Everyone else in this hospital is an old stuffy white guy who listens to Coldplay and,
here's what pissed me off. I'm fine with old stuffy white guy that listens to Coldplay because there was a great joke that came about after the Coldplay thing. My problem was she goes, that tells me I'm so articulate. And I'm like, fuck you. Fuck off.
Yeah, that was such a trope that never happens in real life.
No.
They wanted to reach one viewer that was like under 30. That was it. They're like, somebody watching that will think we're cool.
So unnecessary, so fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. And it did. I wrote down.
I wonder if that was a show note from like what network? The ABC like president. They're like, no, we're gonna need something like, what if we say people are condescending towards the young black intern doctor, and they always call her articulate. It was probably a note from above because it was just so out of place.
I would think
with the rest of the show.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. It was
the whole little mini arc that they had to incorporate the interns on was kind of pointless.
Well, I get the arc of interns because that's what brought JD back. He's the mentor and the teacher. But again, like Rico said,
I like the young doctor.
End, it was so anti. Yeah, a lot of the young doctors were good, like young hot YouTube doctor. Then there was like emotionless doctor who learned a lesson. Oh, we forgot that. So
English
people come
doctor.
up, Australian doctor who doesn't like blood. There was a guy who's like, they call him a handsome doctor, a big, tall, handsome guy. He refused. He was not he didn't like to connect people emotionally, really, or engage people. There's a couple that came up and he's like, hey, my wife's in the parking lot throwing up. We can't come in. It's too expensive. Can somebody just look at her? And he's like, no, we're not a Wendy's. So she ends up dying of a heart attack.
That was a funny line.
As you do. Well, the problem is they probably went to Wendy's.
Sorry, it's a hospital, not a Wendy's.
This is not a Wendy's, sir.
Cunt.
So she ends up dying, and the guy feels real bad. That's at the end of the episode. So JD, he's now the medical director. He's taking over for Dr. Cox. So he's like, all right, go help him. And he told this guy, earlier, hey, you need some backup. So anyway, end of the episode, the thing with the black chick saying that all these white doctors says she's so articulate. Yeah, that was unnecessary, stupid, obnoxious, really pissed me off. I wrote down big strike for the black bullshit at the end, knocking it down a whole grade, then back up again, half a grade for the Coldplay joke, because she says that it's all white guys that listen to Coldplay. And then Turk's like, and she's like, and you're my hero, Turk. I thought you'd be my man. He's like, all right, I am your guy. I am your guy. And he goes, but I also like Coldplay. This just blasted Coldplay in the operating room. And I was like, all right, you get back bumped up half a grade.
That had to be the writers trying to save that moment.
Yeah,
I'm giving all the credits to the writers on the show.
Dude,
every benefit of the doubt. I'm like, they're seeing this cringy cliche moment that has to be in every modern TV show. And they're trying to save it.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think you're right. God, I got to pee now. I got to pee before we do the Ghostbusters. All right. What do you give it?
Pee break and drink.
I give it an A-. I was thoroughly pleasantly surprised. I'm looking forward to watching more episodes of it. Like I said, I've always loved this show, and they did at least really well in the first episode. There were a couple disappointing absences for me. There was no Bob Kelso, who I looked up is still alive. He's 86 years old. I don't know if guy. The old chief of medicine. I don't know if you
that guy was hilarious. Yeah,
he was. The lawyer that he always berated, Ted, R.I.P. passed away in 2020. Not even that old.
Oh.
So,
by the way, speaking of Ted, did you know the guy who created Scrubs also created Ted Lasso?
Yeah, I saw they said that. I didn't know if he was in charge of the reboot. I didn't know he did both, the original.
I don't think he's in charge of the reboot, but yeah, he's Ted Lasso.
And which is also a good show. And then no janitor. What?
Yeah. Where's the janitor?
How can we not have the janitor?
I predict he'll be.
He has to.
Next episode.
Maybe he'll learn that JD's back.
And come just to torment him?
I hope so.
Maybe.
It'll be like a what they need is a Rambo scene where he's like putting on the gear and he's strapping up and getting his mop and he's like, I got a job to do. And and then the first thing is him just going, what's up, fuck nuts?
Yeah, maybe he'll show up like
JD when he walks in. Yeah, I thought it was very well done. So thank you, Scrubs.
Yeah. All right, I'll give my grade. Then we go pee, and then bring us into the Ghostbusters. I'll be fast. I give it also an A-. I dropped it, as I said, half a grade. I was going to give it a solid A. Well, I dropped it to a B. Then I went back up. No, B+, because I had to drop it for the black chick bullshit. Yeah, it made me LOL.
I thought you were going to give it a D- just for that one scene.
No. It was everything else in the show was funny. I was I can't remember the last show that made me actually laugh I'm like at the gym, like chuckling out loud. That rarely ever happens for anything. This show was fucking funny. They stayed true to the vision, to the humor. You could see that like the chemistry is still there with the cast. It was great. Right into it. Funny from the get-go. I wrote down the first thing I said, yeah, look at why I said look at whether it's the same writers, because I wondered if it was, because it was that seamless as the original series.
All right, go pee. You got 10 minutes left.
All right, I'm go.
Donnie.
Yo,
what do you got?
I give it an A. I think the original Scrubs is a classic show. So good. It was something that was so good when it was on the first time that it was on Comedy Central almost for like 10 years afterwards. That's when I would watch it. And it was every time I watched it, I liked it. And this new one, I thought, hey, they did a good job. Reboots are hard. A lot of times they either suck or they just are.
It's lack the energy and like.
Yeah, this one was. Yeah, it was kind of like you almost felt like the main character JD was just living his life the same way he did on the show, like self narrating the whole time. And so when you see him again, you're like, oh, okay, he's just doing the same thing again. And so it did just kind of seamlessly. He's
completely believable in that role. Like you actually think that's probably the way he is in real life.
Yeah. So I thought it was a seamless reboot, which is not easy to do. And it was funny. And actually, I think I might watch the next few. And if it doesn't suck, because it's hard to find new shows, especially on a network. So that is
impossible.
Yeah, the network shows are trash. And so this being actually good, you're like, okay, good. Hopefully, and maybe it'll make better network shows in the future.
This is the first network show I think we've watched in at least a year that's been decent. Maybe the first new show on a network ever that's been good.
And a reboot that's been decent. I mean, you don't get those either.
Yeah, stunning. So kudos to them.
Yeah, good job.
All right, let's get to the real Ghostbusters.
Ooh.
So, just a quick comment about this. When you brought this up to watch last week, I'm like, I have never heard of this show. I'm like,
really?
No recollection.
I watched it as a youth.
Yeah,
and
me
then
too.
As soon as I found it and I hit play, I'm like, oh, I've seen this show, but I had no recollection of it.
Right.
Like I've never heard of it.
With the guy who did a pretty decent Peter Venkman.
Yeah.
That was one of my notes. I'm like, is this guy trying to like imitate the voice?
Oh, he's definitely trying to be Peter Venkman or trying to do Bill Murray impersonation. What's funny is the only people anybody cares about is Peter Venkman. So we're just going to get a guy that can do a Peter Venkman and don't worry about the other voices. Like nobody else sounds anything like any of the other Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So this show's on for 6 years, by the way.
A long time.
Yeah.
You know what this show proves is how much we were screwed as kids. Because in my opinion, this show was absolute shit. One of the worst cartoons I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, get out of here.
This is what we had to watch as kids.
It was not that bad. They had the Ghostbusters video game was terrible. Do you remember that for Nintendo?
I don't remember it either.
It's one of the worst games
I
ever
don't
made
think I
in the
do,
history of video
no.
games. It's impossible. It's horrible. So as a kid, I loved this. Watching now, I was a bit bored. I like that they got the real song. It was a bit goofy doofy.
That is
It's the only
good,
thing,
yeah.
but that involves nothing. They're just like, yeah, we'll take the song from the movie. Like,
That wasn't even the real
Well,
song. It wasn't Ray
it
Parker
seems
Jr.
like
though.
it-
It was like a redo.
It's kind of neat. It takes place right after the movie, right? So they're still a fledgling business. You know, the song is still ripe in everyone's head, and everyone's having a good time watching the Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Well,
I thought that was kind of neat that it takes
except for
place
me.
on the timeline.
see, this is what happens. Now I took my earbuds out, put them back in, and now I'm delayed. This is the
Why
fucking
did you
bullshit.
take your earbuds out?
I don't
he had to
know.
go
I
pee.
just
Well, you could just
put them
mute your
in.
Frank Drebin.
Oh, God damn
Oh
it.
yeah, you should just exit out and rejoin.
I think I'm
You're
going to.
like a Japanese dubbed version of a cartoon.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, see ya. He's going to dinner with the.
Yeah, with his fancy friends.
Oh, my neighbor! I
dick.
hang out with my neighbor. I can't see my neighbor ever except for right now.
It's going to
See
be
my
at
neighbor all the
6 o'clock.
time.
Who
I
eats
hear him
dinner
every
at
morning.
way too early?
I know, moron.
I did notice on the show, like when they come back from their first mission, that they're like, "All right, well, we're going to bed." I'm like, "Oh, I guess they all live here, huh? All right." And the old
Yeah, they
players-
were. Yeah.
And then they all go to sleep in the same room. So I'm like,
Yeah, it's the firehouse lifestyle.
they're probably not bringing a whole lot of groupies back if they just have one big communal bedroom.
Yeah, and the only chick that goes into that building, I think, is a lesbian.
Yeah. The receptionist.
Yeah, Janine.
Yeah, she like I can't see how she's making much money in this job. I thought
I want to know what their rates are. What does a
Yeah.
Ghostbuster charge?
Yeah, like how big's the ghost?
Yeah, they call you. It's like, okay, well, we charge by the hour, so we're gonna be there.
Oh, we gotta have the plecno or whatever you call it, containment unit.
Yeah, and
So
then
that's gonna be a big one.
I would imagine that. So you catch the ghost, then you go, okay, well, the ghost is going to come back and haunt you, but we got this storage containment, and for $5 a month, all you got to do.
That is great. Yes.
So they're paying.
This is a
they're getting-
recurring charge, or
That's
know,
it. That's how they're staying in business.
legally, we're only allowed to keep the ghost for 12 months. There we go.
Exactly.
There we go.
Right, but and then the ghost is going to go haunt the same place, so they have to then pay to keep the ghost in that whatever dimension that Egon invented.
And then you know, it's like an HOA fee. It just keeps going up every year, and you can't do
Right,
anything about it.
Yeah, the
In for a
maintenance
penny, in
cost.
for a pound, buddy. Sorry.
It's like a timeshare for your ghost.
But you can combine with your friends, and we'll give you a 20% discount when they join too.
Yeah, the bundle.
It's like a chain letter for a business.
All right. Have you gotten into the show yet? We had all sorts of viewers before. I wonder if when I dumped out, we probably lost all of the viewers on X for me. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually, the opposite would make more sense. If you left, we'd get more viewers.
You'd think, but you'd be wrong. Yeah, that's annoying. Well, whatever. I swear to God, man, I don't know what the fuck happens to this. Whatever. All right, so getting into it. Did you get into the actual show, or you just guys just?
I
shooting the
mean,
shit?
what is there to get into? They caught a ghost.
Well, we'll set the stage.
They bring it back.
They've a
Yeah.
Slimer's their pet, basically, now.
We were getting
You have
into the
8 minutes. You're going to
intricacies
set the
of the-
stage for a
Yeah.
cartoon.
Well,
were
I'm just
getting-
saying, Slimer's their
Figuring out
pet.
how
They've
they-
got
The income stream of the Ghostbusters. So we were
Well,
really.
if I'm a guy hiring the Ghostbusters, I'm like, oh, you got
Yeah, how
Slimer's
much-
a
how
pet
much
now.
does
They're
it
soft
cost?
on the ghosts. I
What do
can't
they
trust
charge?
these people not to take the ghost home, keep it as a pet. Fuck it, it comes back. In the
They
movie,
advertise.
Ray
Do they
dreamt of
fuck
getting a
ghosts in the
blowjob
movies?
from a ghost. Well, he got a blowjob from a ghost in his dream, but maybe it was real.
Well, every dream is a ghost blowjob. I mean,
That is
what other kind of dreams are there?
this fucking connection. Lose my mind.
Maybe you should just do
like it's haunted.
Type your comments in.
Nope, we lost him.
Oh,
Can you hear me fine? Is it delayed or can you hear me?
Brian is haunting.
How do we know if it's delayed? You can't see when you're moving your mouth.
Count
it's
to 100.
But 1, 2.
This is some fascinating podcasting right
Dude,
here.
I don't get why this fucking shit is happening. It didn't happen for fucking months and months, and all of a sudden out of the blue it just starts happening.
You know what never happens? This to me.
I know. I don't understand it.
I'm as far away from my whatever it's called, the router.
Fucking I swear to God, it's something with like the audio, or maybe the camera is slowing it down. I just don't know. All right, well, whatever. Moving on. So
we lost him again.
You can't.
Oh, you just cut out, but now you're back.
All right, I'll go. So the Ghostbusters cartoon, it's from the 80s, early 90s. I used to watch it. I didn't know I watched it until I saw it, and I go, oh, I remember this. This was on. Not only do I remember watching it, I remember there was a bunch of toys that were part of this whole universe. And I do remember a cereal, a Ghostbusters cereal that was kind of like it wasn't exactly like Lucky Charms, but it had marshmallows in it and then like kind of a puffed wheat piece.
Can you imagine how much money you could make on cereal in the 80s? Because you didn't actually have to have anything that was a food. You could have just chemicals lobbed onto other chemicals and then say, oh, this is a marshmallow. It's not a marshmallow. It's just colored chemicals. You put them all in a box. Never expire. And you get a picture of a popular movie. You're done.
All you need is a printing fucking factory, and you're in business for cereal. You got like fun pictures.
Have you tried like Lucky Charms marshmallows anytime recently? How disgusting they are! Like the feeling on your teeth. I stopped because the girls were like, "Oh, I like them," and the feeling on your teeth is like nails on chalkboard for your nails. It's repulsive.
There are some things that I used to like when I was a kid that I've tried as an adult, and I'm like, these are disgusting. I don't know if they changed the recipe or I was just an idiot or both.
Yeah, most of both.
Yeah.
When everything is sugar. Yeah, just chemicals and sugar.
At least it was sugar and not corn syrup back then. Okay, I think it's stabilized. All right, let's get into the story now. Okay, so the Slimers got a pet. They have these 3 ghosts that they're busting. They had one funny line where they're like, well, these ghosts, they seem to have no intellectual value. They must be from Jersey. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
Suck it.
That was the only funny joke where he goes, where do you think they came from? Because New Jersey? Yeah, that was, and then he's doing it in his, the voice, a voiceover guy trying to pretend to be
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, thank you.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It was funny. Like, so the episode goes in, they have these 3 ghosts, they catch them. Then the ghosts get released because Slimer slides down the wall and releases them by accident after being told he can't fuck up again because Peter Venkman's
was so annoying.
So annoying. Mm-hmm. The ghosts get released, and then the ghosts have an interesting idea. Now, this was interesting. Don't deny it was an interesting concept. They're going to pretend to be Ghostbusters to compete with the Ghostbusters and put them out of business. That's an interesting idea. Except what made no sense. At first, I was like, oh, that's clever. But then the Ghostbusters keep getting calls to bust ghosts, and apparently the people call and then hang up because they only want Ghosts Are Us. But I'm like, the Ghosts Are Us people are using their own baby, their ghost baby, and busting this giant ghost baby. I'm like, there's other ghosts out there. Who's busting the other ghosts?
Yeah, right. The other ghosts are just like told, oh,
just don't chill for a month.
Just chill. Right. We got ghosts.
Assholes go out of business.
I got a weird ghost family. They're running a racket on the Ghostbusters, so give them.
Yeah,
give 'em a few
right. They
days.
they put it on the ghost wire. You know, you call everybody. It's like
Yeah.
a phone chain, like in the old softball days. You know, reach the whole team for T-ball.
I appreciate the 80s free market enterprise of the Ghostbusters, but you think they would have scored a big city contract after taking down the State Puff Marshmallow Man, right?
Well, if you remember Ghostbusters 2, the city handed them a bill for the damages, which if you're the Ghostbusters, you know, I know it was a time and pressure situation, but sign a contract giving you indemnity against that shit.
Like, go get the pharmaceutical lawyers. Like, hold on, pal.
I have to sign a waiver at
we
my
don't
gym.
do damages.
So the Ghosts R Us guys, they try to put him out of business. Then the Ghosts R Us guys decide that they're going to lure the Ghostbusters in to a trap, which is going to kill them with a level 8, free roaming vapor. But they go in there and it's a much stronger ghost that killed the other free roaming vapor. And this ghost is chasing the other guys off. He chases the original ghosts down the highway. He makes a super combo machine, kind of like a Decepticons transformer made out of the Destructicons, if you can imagine such a thing.
Yeah. Very powerful ghost.
Very powerful.
Not powerful enough, because what takes him down?
Slimer.
Slips on slime. That's all ghosts are known to do. What?
Which, did we even see the ghost slip on the slime?
Yeah,
they showed Slimer.
Up the bridge.
Yeah.
You saw Slimer put the slime down, then the ghost is coming up the bridge, and you just see it fall, and it looks like it trips on a cable.
Oh, maybe.
Well, that's the thing, is it's a suspension bridge, and Slimer slimed the suspension bridge cable. So as the thing's walking, it slips. The other thing that I wanted to bring up, none of this makes any sense. All these ghosts are like made out of solid matter. Like they can, they're ghosts. They're supposed to be able to like go through stuff. They're walking
they don't
on
slip on
things.
slime.
They're hitting things.
Yeah, they're bashing cars up. Yeah, true.
Yeah, and I'm like, what kind of ghosts are these? They're just basically just beings. They're just
some chonky ghosts.
Weird animals.
There's
like
no
chowder.
coherence.
Like
the
lamb
storyline.
chowder, these ghosts.
None of it made any sense. But
No.
Again, I was 9 when it was on, so what am I?
Yeah,
know?
well, and they kill the ghosts. Like Slimer makes the slippery stuff. The ghost falls in the water, and then they blow up their ecto helicopter to kill it. And all I could think of is if you know the original Ghostbusters, like, where is Walter Peck? They're just blowing up massive explosions in the middle of the Hudson, and Walter Peck, the redhead guy that worked for the Eco Commission in the original Ghostbusters, nowhere to be found.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, how come the other ghosts have to be contained into the weird chamber? You could just blow up ghosts as well now. I mean, you just kill the spirit again? None of it makes any sense.
Yeah, why would an explosion kill the ghost?
Right, the ghost's already dead. Your whole thing is we got to catch the ghost, and this one just blew up a thing next to a ghost, and he's dead. Sure, okay.
Yeah, I'm a little saddened by this episode. Because I did enjoy the show as a kid, but reason is I remember one episode, and it was so creepy. I think it was like episode 6. There was a ghost that had a flute, and the flute, or maybe it was a person that had a flute that would end the world. This whole episode was so creepy and so well done with this, crazy music that kind of built up the pressure.
Flute, yeah.
You remember? Do you remember this episode?
No, I don't think so. No, but
okay. He
or
would play
you're
a
mixing
song.
two things.
No. He would play a song that would end the world. I would Google it, except I don't trust if I try to Google it, it's like to crash my crap again. But that episode stuck with me so deeply that this creepy guy with blue skin and like white eyes standing on a rooftop in a trench coat and a hat. He's like, one song will end the world. He plays the song, but the world doesn't end for probably because
I think I remember this too.
You remember that episode? It was a deep, crazy episode, and that's why I suggested this show.
There's 8 seasons. You guys got to dig through to find.
I am not doing any more
No.
I think it's season 1, episode 6. Well, whatever. We can wrap it up. As you know, I have to go across to my neighbor's house.
Wrap it up.
What do you give the Real Ghostbusters?
I'll give it.
Should we review the Hanna-Barbera Ghostbusters next episode as a counterpoint?
That might be even harder to find than this one. But I would give it, judging it from 2 different versions. Adult me, F. Kid me, A. So we'll meet in the middle. We'll give it a C.
Little Donnie's like, he's lying the line. He's
are you
flying
kidding?
the bridge. Mom, he's flying the bridge.
Well, I would have to get the toys, and there was.
I think even at 9, I'd be like, "How did the ghost slip on slime? That doesn't make any sense."
As a kid, you're just like, I got to get those action figures right now because there's a commercial for these toys for the show.
Yeah, I'm at a D. I think it sucked. I wasn't entertained at all, and I was so clearly not entertained as a kid. I forgot this show existed until 2 weeks ago when you brought it up. I didn't enjoy it. Cartoons, I think, are much better now. If you watch like newer cartoons, they're like good for kids and for adults.
Yeah,
I think it's like one of the great things of the evolution of entertainment is like
the Jersey joke was obviously
that was good. I guess that was the one for the parent in the audience.
Right, like a kid knows about New Jersey if you live in Manhattan.
He's like, yeah, New Jersey's trash.
Yeah. They got him. Go fucking your Rangers.
I will give it a B- were I a kid and a C now. Because look, it was fine. It was dumb. It was fine. Clearly Japanese outsourced animation, by the way. There are certain things you could see, like the episode that were like very like, Pokemon, like the way, like in that scene with all the nurses or whatever they were in front of the one building. They were like,
oh, that was weird. They were all the same person.
And all like chipmunk cheek, like big eyes are like, oh, this is definitely Japanese produced.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, what should we do next time, gentlemen?
Well,
there's a new. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Don.
I was gonna say there's a new show that I think Bateman's in called DTF something.
Yeah.
And I think it's on HBO.
Yeah.
But I don't know when it's out.
It says, I was just looking at new releases. It says that premieres March 1st.
Okay, so that could be a good one.
Okay.
It's a brand new show. I think it's going to be an hour-long drama. So the old one should be something short and sitcom-y.
All right.
Did we do Full House?
I don't think
so. All right, we can do Full House.
Is it out there? I mean,
and rumor has it that Bob Saget is always DTF.
Oh, that's how they're connected.
No, not anymore. It's on Hulu.
Not anymore.
Oh, the Full House.
Yeah.
All right,
and
there you go.
One there they did a reboot of, right?
I think we watched the reboot. Maybe.
I definitely did not.
No,
maybe it's on the other show TV.
I think Netflix did a reboot or something. All right, so we'll do those two. That sounds good.
All right, DTF and Full House. Got it. All right.
DT Full House.
I don't have time to lure you into false statements to cut.
Are you sure you're gonna miss my story?
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!